Yo, what's up guys? It's Noah here, and in today's video, we're going to be talking through some player props I like on Prizepicks for today's MLB slate on Tuesday, July the 29th. We got another full 15 game slate today. Got some early player props I like for today, taking a first look at the board on Monday night, giving you guys some plays I like looking at the board the night before. 3 plays that we're going to give out in this video. As always, we're going to break down these plays. We're going to share why I like them. Now, before we do get started, guys, make sure that you hit that like button down below if you enjoy these Prizepicks videos. Make sure to hit that subscribe button as well. And if you guys are new to the channel, if you are new to Prizepicks, if you don't have a Prizepicks account, make sure to go sign up. Use that promo code NOAH when you do sign up for Prizepicks with my promo code and play your first $5 lineup. You're going to get $50 in free lineups instantly added to your account. Easy way to build up your bankroll on Prizepicks. Make sure, again, to use that code NOAH if you have not signed up yet. And then we do also have a partnership with Sleeper. Want to shout out Sleeper as well. If you guys don't have an account over on Sleeper, you can download the Sleeper app, use promo code NOAH over there, and you'll get your first deposit matched up to $100. So whatever you put in on that first deposit, Sleeper will match it up to $100. If you want to put in $100, they will give you an additional $100 to play with. So now you got a $200 bankroll to work with. You can try and build that bankroll up over on Sleeper. And if you guys don't know what Sleeper is, they're a DFS pick'em app. They're very similar to Prizepicks. You just pick more or less on player projections. You put out your lineup. You can do up to an 8-pick lineup on Sleeper. You can win up to 100 extra money. Go check them out, guys. And again, use that promo code NOAH over on Sleeper if you guys have not yet. But let's go ahead and talk about some plays here that I do like for Tuesday. Now, I want to recap our plays from Monday's video before we talk through our plays for Tuesday. So we gave out 3 picks on Monday. We went 2 and 3. We hit 2 of our 3 plays. Unfortunately, couldn't get the full sweep. We missed on Eduardo Rodriguez under 2.5 earned runs allowed. Wasn't a great start from Rodriguez. He went 6 innings, but I think gave up 5 runs. I think he gave up like a run in the first inning. I was watching the first few innings, and I think in the first inning, he gave up a run on like a bloop single. It was like a weak fly ball that just landed in the outfield, and the runner on first base managed to score all the way from first base on a bloop single. So once I saw that, I was like, okay, it's just going to be one of those nights, I guess. And then Erod, I think, gave up a home run, gave up some hard hits. He just didn't have his best stuff, honestly. And I like that matchup a lot for him because Detroit, offensively, their splits against lefties have been so bad lately, but they were hitting Erod pretty hard on Monday night. And then the other 2 plays that we did give out, though, those did hit. We took a 2-pick stack with Cal Raleigh and Randy Arozarena. Both took them over their fantasy score lines, which both did hit. So, again, 2 out of 3 plays hit on Monday night. Couldn't get the full sweep, but we're going to try and get that full sweep tonight, guys. Again, I got 3 plays for tonight. Let's go ahead and break them down. So, first prop I like for tonight is actually going to be a first inning runs allowed. So we're going to look at a Nerfy here. And if you're new to Prizepicks, or if you're new to MLB and you don't know how this works, it's very self-explanatory. You're basically just taking whether you think a run will be scored in the first inning of a game. You can take the over if you think a run will be scored. You can take an under if you think a run won't be scored. So the game that I'm going to look at that I like is the Marlins and Cardinals game. And I like this game to be a Nerfy. So I like there to be no run scored in the first inning. We're going to take less than 0.5 first inning runs allowed in the Marlins and Cardinals game. Sandy Alcantara and Sonny Gray pitching here. So these are props that I normally don't take very often. Like I think I've been doing MLB player props, Prizepicks stuff, for like 4 or 5 years now. I think I've maybe taken like 3 or 4 first inning props in that time frame. I don't take these very often just because there is a lot of volatility with these first inning props. You can find a play that you really like, really good odds to maybe go under or over, whichever way it is. But it's baseball. There's a lot of variance, a lot of volatility. You could have 2 great pitchers pitching, and maybe whoever the pitcher is throws a fastball down the middle, and the batter hits it out of the park, and just like that there's a run scored. So obviously there's a little bit of volatility here, but looking at sportsbook odds do like the under, do like this to be a Nerfy. Right now, I think the odds are like minus 135 favored to go under. So the sportsbook odds favoring the under is something that I like to see. But then if we look at the matchups here, Sonny Gray going to be pitching for the Cardinals. Sonny Gray's been a good pitcher this year. He's been solid. He's had some rough outings lately, like his last 2 starts. He's gotten beat up pretty bad. He gave up I think he's given up 11 hits in back-to-back starts. But even with his struggles as of late, if you look at his prop lines for tonight, Sonny Gray's, the sportsbooks, they're not expecting him to get, shelled here. He's got a 1.5 earned runs allowed line, which is favored to the over. But you look at his last 2 starts, he's given up 14 runs in his last 2 starts. That's just not going to continue to happen. Sonny Gray is not that type of pitcher. He's given up 11 hits in back-to-back starts. His hits allowed line is set at 5.5 today. So they're expecting some regression to come here. They're not expecting Sonny Gray to continue to be as bad as he's been. You look at his stats this year. Sonny Gray's been a solid pitcher. He's got good strikeout stuff. Very, very low walk rate, and that's something that I like to see. I want, if you're taking a nerfy, if you're taking there to be no runs scored in the first inning, you want pitchers that don't walk batters, because when batters get walked, when batters get on base, there's a chance they could steal bases, they could get in scoring position, and that's obviously, those are things that can lead to runs being scored. But Sonny Gray's had a very low walk rate this year, just a 4% walk rate, does not really give up a lot of free passes. The Marlins already, I think they're a team that don't really walk much at all. I think they're bottom 10 in walk rate versus right-handed pitching this season. So this is definitely a spot where Sonny Gray should be able to avoid, the easy passes, the free passes, guys getting on base. The Marlins offensively, I know their offensive numbers have been solid lately, but this is not an offensive team that I'm really high on. I don't think this Marlins lineup is that dangerous. They don't have a ton of power. And Gray, you look at his splits this year, he's been a lot better against lefties than he has been against righties. So he actually has reverse splits, better against lefties. He's going to face a lot of lefties at the top of this Marlins lineup. Xavier Edwards at the top of the lineup is a lefty. Jesus Sanchez, lefty. Augustin Ramirez is a righty. But then Kyle Stowers, if he's in the lineup, he's a lefty. So he's going to face lefties mainly at the top of the lineup. Gray's been a lot better against lefties this year. Lower average against lefties. Lower on-base percentage. Lower slugging. He's been a lot worse against righties. So I think it's a pretty good spot here for Gray to be able to get through the top of this lineup without giving up, a ton of hits and hopefully no runs, hopefully no walks. And again, I think it's a good spot for Gray. And then on the other side, if we look at Sandy Alcantara has not been as good this year. He's definitely struggled, but he's historically been a pretty good pitcher. He's been a solid pitcher throughout his career. He's a guy that gets a lot of ground balls. He can induce a lot of soft contact. And that's another thing that we want when we're taking a no-run first inning prop. You don't want guys hitting line drives, fly balls, because that can lead to hard hits. That can lead to home runs. Obviously, home runs are no bueno when you're taking a nerfy. But Sandy Alcantara is a guy that is able to keep the ball on the ground. He's got a very good ground ball percentage. It's almost at 47% this season. He's another guy that has historically been a pretty good pitcher at limiting walks. Throughout his career, his last 4 or 5 seasons, he's had a pretty low walk rate. 6.3% walk rate last year, 5.6% the year before that, 6% the year before that. This year, his walk rate is up a little bit. It's up at 8.5%. But this has historically been a pitcher with pretty good command, doesn't really give up a lot of walks. He's good, getting ground balls, which is a recipe for success when we're looking at, taking a nerfy. We want those ground balls. We want those quick outs. And this Cardinals lineup is not a lineup that I'm too afraid of. They have some solid hitters at the top of their lineup, like Brendan Donovan's been solid this year. Ivan Herrera's been solid. Alec Burleson's been okay. But this is not a super dangerous lineup. There's lefties at the top of this lineup, which I think this year, pretty sure Alcantara has also been reverse splits. So I think he's actually been better against lefties as well. But I want to take a look at that just real quickly. Alcantara also has had reverse splits this year, been better against lefties. So, getting to face 2 lefties at the top of the lineup, it should definitely help him. So I do like this spot for Alcantara to get through the top of this order without giving up a run as well. Alcantara, again, been pitching poorly this season, but as of late, looked a little bit better. Had his best start of the season last week against the Padres, went 7 shutout innings. So he's been pitching better lately. Hopefully he can continue that trend, get through the top of this lineup, and hopefully we can see a nerfy in this game. No runs scored in the first inning. Again, sportsbook guys like the under here. I think the nerfy on DraftKings was minus 135 favored. So that's going to be the prop that we take as our first play for today. No run first inning in the Cardinals and Marlins game. And then the other 2 props we're going to take, we're going to do another correlated hitter stack. And this is something we've been doing a lot lately. They've been hitting for us. And again, when you do a 2-pick correlated stack with 2 hitters on the same team, it does lower the payout because when there's correlation, Prizepicks, they know this, so they're going to lower the payout on what you would get typically. But the payout deduction that you get is not too bad. Normally, a 3-pick lineup would pay out 6x on Prizepicks. With a 2-pick hitter stack in it, it pays out 5.75x, so not really far off from what you would normally get. And the 2-pick stack that I'm looking at for today, we're going to go back to the Mariners. We took the Mariners as a 2-pick stack on Monday with Cal Raleigh and Randy Arozarena. Well, today we're going to go back to it. We're going to take Cal Raleigh again, and then the other hitter that we're going to take is going to be Josh Naylor. So Josh Naylor, his fantasy score line is 6.5. We're going to take him over as well. So we're going to look at a 2-pick stack here with the Mariners, and let's talk about why I like this play and why I like these 2 hitters specifically. So Luis Severino is going to be pitching for the Athletics today. Luis Severino this season, he's been really bad, especially at home. And it makes sense because the Athletics ballpark, we talked about this in yesterday's video, it's been a very, very hitter-friendly ballpark this year, one of the most hitter-friendly ballparks in the league. Severino at home this year, 6.68 ERA. On the road, 3.03 ERA. So just significantly better on the road than he has been at home. Teams are hitting 302 off Severino at home. On the road, they're only hitting 212 against him. It's just night and day when it comes to his home and road splits this year. And also, his splits against lefties have been worse. He's been a lot worse against lefties. 277 average allowed, 356 on base percentage, 421 slug. You look at his numbers at home against lefties, 273 average allowed, 362 on base percentage, 414 slug. So still pretty bad. Cal Raleigh, obviously a lefty, has a ton of power. He's a switch hitter, but since he's facing a right-handed pitcher, he'll bat lefty. Raleigh has had better splits against right-handed pitch or left-handed pitching this season, but his splits against right-handed pitching are still solid. He's got a 229 average against right-handed pitching, 365 on base percentage, 546 slug, 911 OPS, 317 ISO, 151 WRC plus. His stats on the road have been even better, and we talked about this in yesterday's video. The Mariners, they play in a very pitcher-friendly ballpark, so anytime the Mariners get to go on the road, it's going to be beneficial for their hitters. And on the road this season, Raleigh's had even better splits. Josh Naylor, obviously, he's not been playing with the Mariners for very long, so it's hard to say what his home and road splits would technically look like. But I expect his home and road splits at home with the Mariners versus on the road are going to be better on the road because again he's playing his home games in a good pitcher's park. Now he's going to be playing in the Athletics ballpark tonight, which is a very hitter friendly park. But Naylor this season, he's also been very good against right-handed pitching. Really good splits, 305 average against right-handed pitching, 386 on base percentage, 483 slug, 869 OPS, 178 ISO, 140 WRC plus. Doesn't have as much power as Cal Raleigh does, Naylor, but he's still got good average. He can get hits. He can, I think he can steal bases too. Like I think Josh Naylor has stolen a couple bases this year. Pretty sure he stole a base on Monday night, I do believe. He also hit a home run Monday night. Yeah, he does have 3 stolen bases this year. I think since he's joined the Mariners, he's been stealing bases since he joined the Mariners. So like the Mariners have been letting Josh Naylor steal bases, which I'm not expecting any stolen bases from Josh Naylor, but that's just an added bonus. If he steals any bases, you get fantasy points for that. But he can get walks, he can get score runs, get RBIs. You get fantasy points for all that. And for those of you that don't know how fantasy points are calculated, if you just click scoring chart right here, scroll down, you can see the hitter fantasy score, MLB fantasy score breakdown for hitters. You can see how the points are calculated, single, 3. You can look at all of it for yourself. But that's how fantasy points are calculated if you ever have been concerned about that or you don't know how it works. But yeah, these are 2 hitter props I like for today. Cal Raleigh, Josh Naylor, both over their fantasy score lines. Really like this spot for the Mariners to be able to put up some runs again tonight in a good matchup against Luis Severino, who's really, really struggled at home this season. Good hitters park. We talked about that as well. But that's what I got for tonight, guys. 3 plays. Let's see if we can go 3-0 here, hit all 3 of these plays on Tuesday night. But again, as always, guys, appreciate you watching these Prizepicks videos. Appreciate your support. Make sure you hit that like button down below. If you enjoy these videos, hit that subscribe button as well. And be sure to go check out Prizepicks. Use that promo code NOAH. When you do sign up for Prizepicks, when you play $5, you'll get $50 in free lineups instantly added to your account. So check out Prizepicks if you guys have not yet. But Good luck, guys. Let's win some money tonight, and I will see you guys in the next video.